So then, AJ, we take it one step further and we say, all right, well, we've got dev-ems. What about deploy-ems? Like, what if I wanted to deploy resources on Amazon, right, in the same configuration, right, same configuration all the way over here, but because I have the containers already built and the virtual machines already built and even the shells already built, that I could do an AWS EC2 instance, or I could do an AWS ECS service, or I could do an AWS EKS deployment of a container, right? Why can I do that? Well, because I've already built it all, right? I've already, like, ideally, dev-ems should literally be just promotable artifacts to your deploy environments, right? And that's really where this whole thing kind of comes together, where this is what we want you as a developer to deal with, just the project configurations, right? But that project configuration can then be taken to the builder and put here, right? Here and here. Did you just invent Basil or Basil? I mean, listen, I know that this isn't a new idea. Like, I'm 100% aware that this isn't a new idea. But I think, for one, it's just something I'm really interested in. Like, again, this is like my life. This is everything I do these days, like, especially with what I, build. But I also think that I have learned enough and can learn even more with this, that it could be a very, like, lightweight, I guess a good example is like, I wouldn't want this to be like multiple services that you have to install on your computer, and like, you know what I mean? Like, this shouldn't be like, you shouldn't need a cluster to run this. This should really be something as simple as like Pulumi, where you have a CLI tool and maybe like a binary or a daemon or that runs in the background, and that's it, right? But yeah, like, this is something that I'm really, I'm really interested in trying to explore more. Also, I don't know how much Basil does. Now that you say this, now I feel like I should. Does Basil do infrastructure as well? I thought Basil was just software still. Okay, yeah. So that's a big reason why I'm really interested in taking this, is like, I want to go as far. I want to go from your dev machine all the way to your environment, and it be the same artifact. Like, at Hippo, we don't rebuild the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. We build it once, and then everything else is like parameterized, right? So if I built an OCI image and then I ran a container in my dev-env, that image would be the same, right? And I would make it so that my container could take different environment variables or different configuration interface or something like that. So it ran with the dev credentials and the dev configuration and stuff. But this image that's built here is the same here, and it's the same here, right? Exactly. Exactly what AJ's saying. Try to keep the build SHA constant and only modify mvars. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Again, everything that I've kind of learned and grown and, tried building with all of these different tools and all of these different solutions, like, how could I build them all together in one place, right? And so that's Vorpal. That is the project name I'm giving it, Project Vorpal, because, I mean, who doesn't like a cool name that, like, references, some stupid science fiction stuff? A sharp sword of special power. And yes, I know Vorpal's already some project out there as well. Guess what, chat? I made another project called Symphony, and everybody thinks that it was the PHP project, but it wasn't. It was an open source cloud platform that I was actually, AJ, you'd probably laugh at this, 4 years ago, bro. No, 5 years ago almost, right? 5 years ago, I said, OpenStack, I'm building my own version in Go, and I never finished it. So this isn't the first time I've tried making a massive project. But doing this gave me such a better understanding of cloud infrastructure and how everything works that it was still invaluable. And dude, maybe at some point, like, here's the thing. Maybe at some point we will revive Symphony and make it so that Symphony is Vorpal's own orchestrator, right? Like, we could. It could be very interesting, right? But yeah, that was, dude, now I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it now. Now that I just said that, I'm going to make it happen. Dude, Symfony's coming back. We're going to go back to making our own cloud, and it's all going to be configured and built and used through the supply chain of Vorpal.